Welcome to the GenX Pole Arts podcast, Fit, Fierce, and Fearless. I am Zen, also known as Nancy Adzentoivich, the founder of GenX Pole Arts. I am happy to be launching this podcast where we are going to be celebrating the strength, resilience, and potential of women over 40 in the vibrant world of pole dance. I'm excited to embark on this empowering journey with you guys. And each week, we will connect with inspiring women who are redefining what it means to thrive in their 40s and beyond. From incredible stories of personal transformation to tips on building strength and confidence, we'll explore the boundless possibilities that pole dancing offers for self-expression and empowerment. Whether you're a seasoned dancer or just curious about the journey, there's a place for you here. So grab a cup of coffee, a sparkling water, whatever turns you on, and get comfortable. Let's celebrate the incredible power of women who are embracing their passions and pushing boundaries at every age. And don't forget to subscribe and join our community on social media and sign up for the 15-day pole dance challenge if you haven't done so already. All right, now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to Fit, Fierce, and Fearless, episode 18. Episode 18, you guys. It's amazing. I bet you weren't expecting to see me again. 2 solo episodes in a row. Not my typical format, I know, but my guest this week had an emergency and wasn't able to make it. So we have me again. But the good news is you're going to have 2 guests 2 weeks in a row after this. So I told you in the last episode that I wanted to talk about menopause. And so I did some more research and I prepared some notes and I want to talk to you about menopause. I actually just recorded this whole episode, but I didn't hit record. Can you imagine? So I don't actually know. Can I say all the things I said? Was it good? Doesn't matter because that opportunity is gone. Now we're here. Anyway, so yeah, I did the research. I love to learn new things. I like being a forever student, as we talked about on a couple of the past recent episodes. So I'm going to read a little bit, or I'm going to reference my notes, because one thing I do not want to do with this podcast is to be one of those people who talks about their opinions as if they are verifiable facts, because I think that is so damaging in our society and it is so widespread, and it really is a pet peeve of mine. So if you ever catch me doing that, if you ever hear me spewing false news or information that's just not true, call me out in the comments, please, because I do not want to be that person ever. I want to be trustworthy and I want to be valid. So that is my goal. So I will start by telling you guys that menopause or perimenopause, the menopause journey, perimenopause can begin in your mid 30s, and it can last anywhere from 4 to 10 years. And this information comes from the National Institute of Health. I'm not making it up. And there's also a study called the North American Menopause Society study on menopause. And I will link to these things in the show notes so that you can also read a little bit more about it if you are so inclined. But yeah, so we start seeing changes, noticing changes in our 30s sometimes. Definitely by your mid 40s, you are either in perimenopause or menopause. For me, it started a little bit later. And I didn't know much about any of it, really. I thought menopause was about hot flashes, because I remember my college roommates' moms, for some reason, were going through menopause while we were in college. And I remember them being like, oh, oh, it's my own personal summer. I'm having my own personal summer. And they had these little fans, like pocket fans, and they would like blow their hair, like, right? Sweat dripping down their faces. And I was like, what the fuck is up with that lady? My mom never talked to me about it. I don't know if she had symptoms. I don't know if she went through menopause. Like, my mom was raised in a family where people just didn't talk about stuff. So in my family, we didn't talk about stuff. We didn't talk about sex. We didn't talk about menopause. We didn't talk about money, and still really don't talk about those things. It's weird. I am not like that with my kids, though. Anyway, that is not as important. Um, so yeah, I was having symptoms like brain fog. I think that's probably the first one that I noticed. I had always been a high producer at work, a multitasker. I could I could switch from task to task really easily. I was involved in data and analytics for most of my career, so I could look at disparate pieces of information that didn't seem to be related in any way and draw some conclusions from them that led to some kind of an action plan. I loved doing that. It was so much fun for me. I noticed that all of a sudden I would be like in a Zoom meeting and hang up and I'd be like, what was the point of that meeting? Do I have something I'm supposed to do? Like, I'm not sure. What's next? I noticed that reading a book felt impossible. Like, I would read the same page like 4 or 5 times and still not know what the fuck I just read. I was like, why am I not retaining any information? I was like, do I have a brain tumor? Because, anxiety. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Oh yeah, and my anxiety is another thing. I was more anxious than ever. I was having panic attacks. Like, what is going on? Like, I just felt like I was literally losing my mind. My mood was kind of all over the place. One minute I was super horny. The next minute I was like, I don't want anybody to even look at me, let alone touch me. I was mad for no reason, sad for no reason. I just felt like I didn't know who was in my head, but it didn't feel like me. And I thought I was going crazy. I wasn't. I was still working. I was raising my kids. I was being a wife and I was doing all the stuff in my world that I always had done before. I just didn't have that mental clarity or comfort that I was used to having. And I was like, something is wrong, but who do you talk to about it? Like, you don't go tell your boss, like, oh, I'm having trouble comprehending these notes, or I'm not, yeah, like, I need to go for a walk every 30 minutes and like get air on my face. Like, no, you can't say that shit. They already think that we're not capable, right? So I was like, we as in women of an age, I was just like, I was confused. I didn't know who to talk to about it. And so I just talked to nobody about it. Um, then some other things started happening. Like, there was this picture of me swimming. It was an underwater photo. And I was like, oh, looking all cute in my bathing suit. And I noticed, you guys, there was like this crepey skin under my arm in the water. And I was like, what is that? I was looking at the photo like, there is some weird thing happening with the light under the water. Is the sun like refracting off of the water, creating this ripple effect on my arm? Like, what is that? What is that? You guys, it was my skin. It's my freaking skin. My skin was all creepy under the water. I was like, but I got like triceps. Like, my arms are solid. There's nothing flapping around there. How could that be my skin? Like, look. But it was something about just how the skin relaxed in the water and the current of the water, just like ding, 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 creating these little ripply skin effects. And I was like, holy fuck, that's my skin. It was like somebody just slapped me upside the head. I wanted to cry It's like, what can I do? What can I do? I need some new body lotion. I need some cream. What do I need? What do I do? What do I do? I need to take some supplements, maybe collagen in my coffee. That was just the beginning. So from there, I noticed my belly getting thicker, like around the middle. Like I always had a small waist relative to my hips and my butt, right? Flat all my life, flat. Maybe not always a six pack, but at least like a four pack, right? All of a sudden, this little like had a belly. I was like, where's this belly coming from? I'm not like a super I'm not like a beer drinker. I don't eat a ton of sugar. I still work out all the time. I kept my workouts going. I wasn't changing anything, but I was getting wider or thicker. My clothes were fitting me weird. I was confused. So I've been an athlete all of my life. All my life. I was a swimmer from the time I was like 8 years old, competitive swimmer. Then from there, I became a triathlete, like most swimmers do, right? And a runner. I ran in marathons, half marathons, million five and 10Ks. I don't even know how many. So I was always training something. I was always working out. I was always competing. I was always in the gym. I was eating appropriately to whatever I was training for at the time. But my body just started reacting to those workouts differently. I tried intermittent fasting. I didn't eat anything after 7 p.m. or before 2 p.m. I became a vegetarian. I gave up booze. I became a vegan for a little while. I tried to go gluten free. I did paleo, meal prep kits. Still nothing. I was like getting squishier and thicker. I was like, why is this happening to me? I am not doing anything wrong. I just felt so frustrated and confused because all my life I had been so well acquainted to my body and how to train it. I could influence changes in my body simply. I knew exactly how to change my workout. I knew exactly how to change my diet, and I would immediately see the effects in my muscle tone, my muscularity, my silhouette, my strength. I would see it like in a week or two. It was quick. Now, no matter what I did, I wasn't seeing positive results. I was going backwards. I was like, what? Who am I? Whose body is this? Like, what is happening? So couple that with like what was going on with my mental and mood stuff. And it was very scary. So to go back just a moment to the beginning, if I'm talking about not wanting to spew my opinions as facts, right? So I just shared with you guys all of my kind of athletic history, my endeavors throughout my life. But I also am a registered yoga teacher. I've done my yoga teacher training. I've taught yoga. I also have done my personal trainer certification. I have taught group fitness classes. And on top of it, I did all of that training on myself. So it's not like I didn't have any kind of foundational knowledge of what was going on with my body. I also studied pre-med in college. So, I didn't do med school, but I did undergrad sciences, right? Biology, chemistry, etc. Um, and none of this was making sense. So I started doing research. There wasn't that much publicly available yet. So we're talking about close to 10 years ago. So we didn't have like the doctors we have now who are on Instagram and having all of these amazing podcasts focused on menopause and aging for women. I'm really grateful we have them now. So anything I was looking for was harder to find, and the studies weren't summarized. It was hard to find an abstract or anything that was written for the lay person, right? It was more like medical journals and stuff like that. And again, trying to talk to my mom's generation about this is like pulling teeth. Like they don't talk about it. And one of the reasons that I think it's so important is because I was confused and scared. And it doesn't have to be that way. I would love to normalize this conversation for our generation, for all of you millennials who are coming up upon this time quickly, and then Gen Z and everybody coming down the line. Hopefully, you guys are going to be way more equipped than we were, and it won't be as scary. You'll already know about HRT because you've heard all your Gen X sisters talking about it, right? You've seen what we've kind of been the guinea pigs for. So I also noticed changes in my sleep. I was waking up like 3 times a night to pee every night. So my sleep sucked, which made me more tired during the day, which is what I was attributing to my brain fog because I was just not rested. Even if I went to bed early, I was still waking up 3 times in the night. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't sleep past 7 in the morning, even on a weekend, even if I had been drinking. Like I would just wake up and I was up and I could not go back to sleep. So I just wasn't regenerating my brain cells or anything in my body. So it was kind of just a really fucked up time. So the good news is that your body is not actually degenerating. It is not breaking. It is just shifting. It is changing. It is evolving. It is iterating the way that it should be. What's happening is your levels of estrogen are fluctuating and changing and lowering. And estrogen is a very important hormone that we have that affects so many different systems in our body, our bones, our tissues, well, our skin tissue, our bones, our joints, our mental clarity, capability. Well, I don't want to say capability because you're still capable. It's just harder to access it. It's like different pathways feel like they're opening up. Your mood, right? Your emotions. And we can now have hormone therapy that helps to replace that estrogen. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm on hormone replacement therapy, and most of the women my age who I know are also on hormone replacement therapy. Um, Once we hit our 30s, women lose between 3 and 8% of their muscle mass per decade, 3 to 8% per decade. And this comes from Harvard Health. Okay. Um, the way we can counter that is through weight bearing exercises, lifting heavy things. That includes our body weight. So when we think about pole dancing is unique because it combines weightlifting, flexibility, mental coordination, muscular coordination, and community because you're in a class, you're dancing with other people, and you're working together. So any kind of dance is great when you're in this stage of life, but pole dancing really is kind of, I believe, the ultimate exercise that you can do as you're going through the menopausal years. And I'm using that word to encompass all 3 of the stages. It's also empowering. It is creative and it is sensual. So when you are going through perimenopause and you don't feel like you recognize your body, you don't feel like yourself in your body, you just feel like you're existing in a different universe than you ever had before, and you don't know whose body you're in. When you're doing pole dancing, it brings you back into your body and gives you a new way to feel comfortable, to still feel sexy, to feel like you have some autonomy and agency over what is happening to your body. And that alone is a comfort and can help you get through, truly. So, I have 5 simple things that I wanted to share with you guys that you can do during this time to make it more bearable and even enjoyable, maybe, to help you stay strong, mobile, and inspired. So, the first one is to move most days, like I keep saying. Do your 10,000 steps, do any kind of movement, just move, 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 move your body at least 5 days a week, if not 7. Okay. The second thing is to lift heavy things, weights, lift your body. If you're lifting your body on the pole and you're spinning through space, it's actually creating more force and more weight for you to lift. So go pole dancing or go to the gym and lift heavy weights at least 2 days or about 2 days a week. You're going to build lean muscle mass, and you're also going to help maintain your bone density, which is something else that diminishes as estrogen levels drop. Dancing freely is number 3. So just letting your body do what it wants to do. Put on some music that you love. Let your brain and your mind kind of wander and feel like, get in kind of like a feel good space and just let your body move. Let your brain and your body connect. Feel yourself in your body and just let yourself go. The fourth one is your joints, supporting your joints. So I have this knee injury. This knee injury is a torn meniscus coming from decades of running on pavement, you guys, and skiing. And then couple that with dancing, right? So hopefully this is going to be dealt with very soon. But right now I'm still dealing with this for like a year. So that's a common injury as we get older for anybody who's been active and athletic all their lives, like knees and especially the meniscus is something that happens. However, we can prevent other types of joint stiffness and injury by doing yoga, doing mobility training, practicing flexibility exercises, using our tools like like a foam roller and blocks and bands to really make sure that we are working our joints and our mobility so that they stay supple, so that they don't stiffen up. We don't want to fall. We don't want to get so stiff that we can't walk or we can't get out of a chair. We need to maintain our functional fit. Okay, you guys, don't ask what just happened and why things look the way they do right now. It's okay. We're going to be okay. I'm going to wrap it up. We talked about joints. We talked about the 5 things that you can do right now if you are in perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause. Move most days. Move, walk, get your 10,000 steps. Just move. Lift heavy things. So lift weights at least 2 days a week. Lift your body. Do pole dancing. You're lifting your body. You are gaining flexibility, stamina. You're part of a community. It's good for your mental game. And it also helps you to reclaim agency over your body, which is going through so many changes. It helps you to feel sexy, connected, and just overall brings you back into yourself. The third thing is to dance freely. So, not in a class, but just put on some music in your house, in your car, whatever. Move your body. Let your mind connect to the music, your music connect to your body connect to your mind. Just let it go. Just a few minutes here and there. It's a game changer. Supporting your joints. So, again, flexibility, yoga, foam roller, blocks, bands. Make sure your joints stay supple. Make sure they stay lubricated and that they keep moving. We want to be functional as we get older. And lastly, connecting. So having that community of people around you who help you to feel supported, safe, needed. It's so vital as we get older to be a part of a community. If you don't live somewhere that has a local community, you don't have a dance studio or a pole studio near you, you can join my online community. This is why I built it. There are monthly memberships, or you can join the starter kit and begin your pole dance experience at home. Either way, you'll be part of our online community. You'll meet other people who will support you virtually and maybe even in person. I am going to be in Newburgh, New York this summer doing a workshop, and in Santa Fe, New Mexico in the fall doing a workshop. So if you are in any of those areas, I would love to meet you in real life. So that is it for today. Remember, your body is not deteriorating. Your body is not broken. You are simply recalibrating, evolving, and iterating. As we move from our midlife years to our postmenopausal years as women, we are as important, as vital, as alive, and as capable as we ever have been. It's merely a transition. Don't believe the hype of negativity that is out there in our society about women over a certain age because it's bullshit. We got this. We are here and we are not going away. So, next week, we will have another phenomenal guest. You guys are going to love her. If you listened to the last episode, you know who she is. So I'm really excited to have her. And I thank you for being here. Please share this episode with your friend, your sister, your cousin. Just share it. This conversation needs to be normalized, it needs to be had. Okay. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I hope you liked it. Leave comments, subscribe, rate, etc. Until the next time, I love you. Bye. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Fit, Fierce, and Fearless, powered by GenX Pole Arts. I hope you feel inspired by the incredible stories of strength and resilience that we shared today. Remember, it's never too late to embrace your potential and unleash your passion. If you enjoyed this episode, please, I would appreciate it if you would take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave me a review. Your support really helps me to continue to uplift and empower women over 40 in our pole dance community and beyond. Don't forget to connect with me on social media for more inspiration and updates. I'd love to hear your stories and share in your journey. So until next time, keep dancing, keep shining, and remember that your strength knows no age.